All right, all right, all right. Matthew McConaughey tells us. We are here back on the dose. I'm Robert. This is my pal Susan, and we are discussing, origin plus, origin of many things, improv, of friendship, and of day one, and where all those things kind of met in the crucible of Austin, Texas, mid-August 2020. This is pretty high stakes of COVID and
Oh gosh, yes. Yeah,
right. And
yeah.
and one of the stories that I don't know if you remember, but I'd love to hear your take on this was, you picked me up and you couldn't wait to show me the Texas Longhorns. What was that about, seeing those massive animals to you? And what do you recall for that? Because it was a big deal to you to show them to me.
Yeah, they're extraordinary. And they're right there next to the airport. And it just felt like a launching you into my life. I mean, I didn't grow up a Texan, but I do live here and they're symbolic of strength and a big university presence here in town. Yeah, of course, I remember taking, of course, you had the reaction that I would have hoped for. I remember we both were wearing those damn masks because of COVID. And, this is the first moment that I'm actually seeing this person I've been talking to uh, in person, but I can see you. And, and we kind of had to give ourselves permission once we got into back home, to my house, that it was kind of probably okay
Yeah,
not have to
yeah.
deal with that. But
We had known each other enough, talked enough lifestyle, did the COVID dance as I call it. So how do you guys do things, and basically what level of risk are you taking, and is it safe? But I want to go back just a minute because there's still something in those Longhorns that I remember, and I don't know if you do. You were quite bubbly about going right over to the fence line with them, and I was a little more like, whoa, these are big.
really,
And you went right over. I don't know if you remember, but one of them got pretty close to goring you. Like, it came over towards you with those huge
oh,
horns. And
oh, oh.
okay, now you're being a Texan, I guess.
I
Saying,
don't
oh,
know.
I'm telling you, that thing got close. And horns don't lightly bump you, I don't think. I think horns gore you. That's what I think.
So, did you think, oh my God, this woman that I'm, who's my partner in this venture is nuts? She
Well,
doesn't
I'm the
leave.
lone nut, as it says, but maybe she is. And what am I following right
A
now?
little too careless or too trusting or what?
Well,
I'd say too trusting. I'd put it there.
it was one of those, okay, this is what we're doing, huh?
I do remember that. I just didn't have the same reaction that you did, and
I
I
know.
probably should have.
But well, it's a good note on perspective too, because who knows if an actual camera was there, what it would see outside of our perspectives. I know
Yeah.
what I felt. I'm not saying it's accurate. It's what I felt.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And
But
then,
yes, and then yeah, we go and I mean your place is overwhelming. Chip is phenomenally fascinating, and to know that he had what meant a lot to me was he had already offered some validation. I mean, you had obviously offered the validation. Many members of the class had offered validation, but now I've got an MD who's saying, I see something here. That was huge because, again, remembering where I was coming from, the lack of confidence and fear about doing what I was doing, and the pressure from the program to say, you got to show something. And I'm going, I'm trying. And testimonials and people of that ilk speaking on your behalf, it means something. So it meant a lot to me.
I felt the same way. He's incredibly supportive of me, but he's not going to support anything that he doesn't think has a merit or a vitality of its own or worth his seal of approval. He's not going to do that. And
Well, it's got his name on it ultimately because, like I said, he wrote me a testimonial I could use, a letter of recommendation, and I don't take that lightly. I recently had a situation where somebody asked me to do that for them, and I read what they were doing, and I said, and I had to find a nice way out because I was like, I can't put my name on this, and it's not because I love the individual.
sure.
The work is not. I can't endorse it, otherwise it makes me less credible.
Hmm.
So it was both generous and it was a rise up for me to know he wouldn't do this. He wouldn't put his reputation on the line unless there's something there. And so for as much pushback as I'm getting from a number of PhDs, I've got an MD here and and an MD back at home in Dr. Mari. It's like, okay, maybe I need to go the clinician route. So there we are for there for now. We'll put a pin in it for there for now. That's a nice phrase. See you in the next dose.